Hey everybody, what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? Look, it's called pivoting. Today's day is pivoting. Friday night with Pineapple. Did not plan on going live tonight, but yeah, man, just wanted to let you know all is well. We had some unforeseen circumstances yesterday at the last minute, but it was okay. Still pivoting. We still gonna have a long live. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna make some things doing. I got Wu-Tang Clan playing Cream, one of my favorite songs of all time from up north. So man, basically, if you don't know who I am, my name is Terrence Ramses. I am the CIO of Right Brand Clothing, known as Royal Blossom Company now, officially trademarked as of this year. I'm excited for what's going on with the brand today. So I'm gonna give you a quick things about some brand updates about what we doing, what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. So one of my suppliers in one of my fellow countries is having a little bit of issues with the supply chain. There's some civil unrest in one of the countries, and what's happening is, it's been hard to get these tank tops production going. So I haven't been able to get the tank tops and stuff going because of that issue. But now, it's everything starting to die down. Things are starting to get back to normal. So also we're gonna do some pre-order dropping this week. Between this week, next week, and the following week. So every other week we're gonna be doing some pre-order drops. So if you haven't got on the mailing list, please get on the mailing list. I'm going to create the email tonight. It's going to go out tomorrow morning with the link so you can go ahead and order. So it's going to be with the red Spanish tee. It's going to be the shorts, some new shorts that's coming out. So once those things come out and pre-order, you're going to be able to order it. It's going to be at a special promo price for a certain amount of time. It's going to be a limited time. So that way when they get here, you're going to be able to get your stuff, okay? So we got a few events coming up. We got Big Fest coming up in a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks. We're going to be out there with Camille in Indian Old Market. Big Fest from 12 to 7 in Percy Harbor Park, downtown. So you might want to go ahead and get yourself some tickets. The sponsor ads are out there. They all over. So you might want to go ahead and get that stuff done, okay? Cool. One of our next events the following week, okay? The following week, we're going to be with Fierce Entertainment again, okay? So we're going to be with our all-white party at the Aloft downtown Orlando, okay? So you might want to go ahead and get your tickets to that too. Go to Fierce Entertainment. You'll be able to see that all-white party. It's going to be there. We're going to be showcasing the brand again. We're going to be doing the swimwear, okay? So, yeah, without further ado. So, last time I had this guest on here, we had some technical difficulties, okay? Been trying to squeeze her back in the schedule, but it's been crazy because I've been having some guests back to back to back to back. So it's been a little challenging trying to get things happening. So now that I got some downtime this week, I'll be able to get her in. The question format is going to be just a little bit different. Okay, so this is impromptu. So all of it is mostly impromptu, but this is a little bit more off the books and off the script. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about her. She's been doing some great things in the community. She's been getting some people some help. She's trying to work on the mind. Okay, so this week is getting on the mind. We about to approach the fourth quarter, so we're gonna be closing all bad habits out. We're gonna be closing your minds. We're gonna be opening your mind. We're gonna be asking you some detail-oriented questions. Okay, so any questions that you have in this field of mental health, you're gonna be able to get them answered today. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to bring Get Therapy on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring her on. All right? We're going to introduce Miss Denise Moore. Come on on.
Hey everybody, how are you? Hey,
How's everything going?
it is great. Thank you for having me on again.
What's going on, BJ? How you doing? Oh yeah, how's everything going tonight? I know it's a little short notice, but yeah, how's everything going?
It's going
Everything
well. It's going great. I had some sessions today, finished a little bit late, but it's all good.
good, good, good. So yeah, so tell the audience who you are, where you're from.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, I'll tell you where I'm from. Hey everybody, I'm from Buffalo, New York. Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia 716. I just had to get that out there. Claim y'all NFL teams now. So anyway, I'm Denise Moore. I am the proud owner and founder of Get Therapy, which stands for Grow, Empower, and Transform Therapy. I'm a licensed mental health counselor here in Florida, and I see my clients either virtually or in person. That's who I am. I'm also awesome. I'm very creative. I'm the author of two journals. I have a podcast, which right now is stagnant, I will admit. I do have some questions I put out there. I have a segment on my Facebook page called Ask a Therapist Monday. So on every Monday, once I post it, people do ask questions, and I work really hard on answering those questions. And also catch it on Thursdays. I do a journal prompt Thursday. Journal prompt. People are able to go ahead and answer the journal prompt if they choose to, or write it in your own journals. So as Terrence said, I help and I deal with the mind, and it's my goal to heal as many individuals as possible.
Okay. So I got a few questions about everything that you said, but before you do that, how long have you been into therapy, and what's your why behind getting people mental health?
Yes, I have been in this field for about 12 years now. For about 12 years. My why is healing. There are so many individuals that I come across, does not matter the age, who have been impacted mentally by stressors, by um, family, old relationships, or just need to know how to move forward and make the right direction and also decisions. So I love helping people in that area. I love helping people heal from what we call generational trauma or those old negative family patterns. I help them see the healthy patterns that their family passed down. I help them see what they would like to change. I help individuals hold themselves accountable if they choose to. I assist, individuals with just moving forward. So when you come and see me, everything is like that ball of yarn. And so I just help you just to straighten it out. That's why I do it. I love it.
You say you've been doing this how long again?
12 years.
12 years. Okay, 12 years. What type of degree do you have to get for this?
I have my bachelor's degree in social work and I have my master's degree in counseling psychology. Once that is completed, you can have your degree in social work, your master's in social work, master's in counseling, master's in psychology, master's in marriage and family therapy. Once you obtain that in the state of Florida, you have to work 2 years postgraduate degree, 2 years as a therapist. And once that is completed, you can take the national state exam. That state exam is recognized all over the United States and pass. Take that exam and pass, and you're able to become a licensed therapist.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you were just talking about you had a podcast, you had journals, you
Yeah.
had a few different items. So go into a little bit of details about your journals and your podcast.
Oh, yes. So, two journals I created. One is to assist individuals with learning how to create their own affirmations. Affirmations is something that I love. It's stated facts about yourself. And you can ask an individual to name some things they're not great at and or name their weaknesses, and they're able to just list that. When you ask an individual to name some things that they're great at, they have a hard time. What are your strengths? A lot of people have a hard time with that. So in one of my journals, I teach you how to create your own affirmations. And I have some pages where you can just write out your thoughts and feelings and great things that's happening with you. The other journal I created because in my past I was in an abusive and toxic relationship. So with that one is geared towards women, and that is letting them know how they can come back to themselves in a sense, or what happened that you were in that situation, and how they can come out of that and overcome from that. Those are what's in the two journals that I created.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a deeper dive. Are
Yeah.
these journals ready for sale?
Oh yes, they're ready for sale. They're both on an app called a page called Book Patch. I have one of the journals on Amazon, and I also have one with me in person. And I will have them out with me tomorrow when I am vending at the Tababo event on tomorrow. And I'll put that information in chat in case anybody in Tampa area you want to come out and hang out with us. It's the Mental Wellness Expo I'll be at tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So so is this journal unisex or is it just for women?
The first one of them is for women, the other one is unisex.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on with your podcast? Why did you say it was stagnant?
Okay, so the reason I said it's stagnant because I have not created an episode to I believe February. So
Okay.
that's why I say it's stagnant.
So why is
So on the podcast, I really just talk about different areas of mental health.
okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what's stopping you from being consistent from with that?
Discipline and time.
Okay.
Honestly, discipline. Yeah, discipline and time. Honestly, because I have great ideas, and I just have not gone back to that.
Okay. So this is what I would say to you when you come to the podcast world. So when you want to build a platform or a platform to where you want to build an audience and you want to engage an audience in your niche, you want to have your tools and some topics ready ahead of time. Um, things, themes, um, just different things that you can do to make your podcast engaging, and also people are getting educational tools and making it fun. That's what this one has. This is what this podcast is about. Because believe it or not, you just don't know who's watching. I've been having so many people watch this podcast for the last
Mhm.
3 months. They cannot get enough of this, and they love it. So you want to make sure that your podcast take this stuff that I'm doing and put it in your podcast. You don't have a problem with that. I would say people look at consistency. Okay, so when you are consistent about stuff, it's not about the followers, the subscribers. It's about you being consistent over time. And when people see that you consistent over time, people are like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're doing this, this, this. They're looking forward to you. Where do your clients find you? Where do your audience find you? What time do they find you? It's like when you book an appointment, they know where to find you at this time. The same thing when you're doing it on live, and what days and times, how many days a week. Even if you're just doing it every 2 weeks, every week, or once a month, but you gotta make sure you're doing it consistently and making sure you're showing up consistent and doing that when you say you're gonna do it. Okay, so when you're doing this podcast, you want to make it to where it's fun. So you got to figure out how do I engage people in mental health, because that's something that's taboo in our community,
Very
unfortunately.
much so. Hmm.
So with that being said, you got to hit the drawing board and get back to it. You got to choose one day one time, if it's every week or every 2 weeks, and get started. You just gotta get started. Start somewhere. That's what I did. I just started. Well, everything, all the upgrades and stuff about to be coming, but people look for people who are authentic. That's the most important thing. It ain't about how polished your platform looks. It's about how authentic you are.
Thank you.
Does
Okay.
that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. All right. So let me go into my get into my interview process. So let's do something a little different. What would you describe as a funny experience in a therapy session?
Funny experience? Let's see. There was a time where I was working with someone and they were not understanding the concepts I was using. So I just looked for a song and I told them this was the song. It was she's a runner, she's a track star. So and they were able to understand from the lyrics of the song and they were able to apply it to their situation. And we sat and we broke the whole thing down and we applied everything to the situation and we really sat and we talked about it. We sat and we talked about it and they were able to understand. It's thinking outside the box. Healing took place.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you find okay? So, do you find it hard to communicate with certain people at times?
At times, I will say yes. I will say yes. It's difficult to communicate with people, whether it's they do not want to understand, they don't want to see it, they don't want to hear it, or they're just people are not always ready. They're not always ready to meet the goal that they say they want to meet once we really begin to work on that. So once people come to therapy and they really find out that they have to do the work themselves, we are able to assist. I assist you. I don't tell you what to do. I assist you. And it's up to you to make those behavioral changes that you want to make in your life. It's up to you to really see your situation differently. It's up to you to just take that accountability and just reach and achieve those goals that you have for yourself. I'm here to just really assist. So at times it is a little difficult to communicate with individuals, especially when the individual do not believe this may be their diagnosis or this may be their problem. So yeah.
So, give me an example of a diagnosis.
Oh, um, depression. You tell someone, you know what, everything you've listed to me sounds like depression. Oh, I'm not depressed. I'm happy. I'm not depressed because I'm working. I'm not, I cook every day. I get out of bed or I'm taking a shower. And I allow them to speak because I will hear what you say, and then have to pull out the book or say, "Oh, let's go here. Let's ask Dr. Google. Let's look at this." And so you're experiencing this. Yes, it looks like this in your body. It feels like this when you're explaining to me that you can't do ABC because of XYZ. That is this right here. So once I begin to break it down for them like that, then they are able to see and understand. I hear from colleagues there are other, you know, different diagnoses. Some people just do not want to accept that. When we give a diagnosis, we're not saying that it's something that is forever. However, that's our starting point help to help you to unravel everything that's happening. Once we understand what this is, and then we can work towards that. And once we're working towards that and you beginning to feel better, trust us. Like like seriously, trust us.
Okay, so
Trust us.
let me interject. I,
Go ahead.
I let that run on purpose. Now, when you say depression, you know depression is the easiest one to be in denial with. So
But
that's it's not a bad one that I said, but I was challenging you. I kind of figured that you were gonna say depression first because that's the most one that people they'll reject that. Now I want you to read. I want you to answer it again. Give me an example of a diagnosis outside of depression,
mm,
anxiety.
bipolar,
Give me another one.
narcissistic personality disorder,
Give me another.
post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. There are many individuals who only believe military persons have that, and that's it.
Okay. Give me another one.
Another one is schizophrenia, um, OCD also, but that falls right now under anxiety as well.
Okay. Give me another one.
Let's see, adjustment disorder,
Who?
individuals that have that adjustment disorder with depression or anxiety, or you can have mixed. ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, or ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That's another one that individuals do not believe they have, whether they're an adult or that their children have.
That's
That's
just
also, mhm,
that's just too much sugar in your. That's let me tell you what that means. That like, you therapists,
I am.
psychiatric would tell you. Let me tell you what that means in the black community. Let me tell you what that means in the health and wellness community.
Yes,
ADHD. Let me tell you what that means. That means you got too much sugar in your body.
in your body. Listen, there are ways that you can treat that holistically. I was working with a parent and she said, Denise, I don't want to give my daughter medication. I said, okay. So here's the foods that you can cut out. And she tried it. She said, Denise, it's in everything. I said, I know. However, I'm helping you with the route that you want to take. And so she said, okay, I'm going to do the medication to help with the symptoms right now for the child while in school. And we're going to work on the other stuff. And she was able to do that. So yeah, a lot of mental health issues are medical issues that individuals do not know about. When you come to see me as a therapist, first thing I tell you is get you some blood work done and also see your doctor for a medical workup because so many things is medically related that look like mental health symptoms.
Okay, so part two of that, if you talk about ADHD and
Hmm.
children, that mean ain't no daddy in the household.
Oh, in our community, you don't know how to act.
There's two sugar, no daddy in the household. That what that mean. Alright. So they ain't them kids ain't tripping, no, you giving them too many snacks, Cheetos, foolishness that a lot of single moms do. Unfortunately, forgive me, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Um, no daddy in the house. There's no structure and discipline. There's no system, order, and structure. There's nothing. There's no covering there. There's no accountability there. So the kids gonna be chaotic. If a lot
So
of
with
people,
that,
a lot of people don't understand when you're like I say if you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship, right? So women and children are chaotic entities. So it's not bad, but only thing that can bring it to order are men. Chaos, order. They're the complete opposite of each other. One needs the other. One can't function without the other. Okay, you need some type of chaos to bring it to order. You need chaos to be brought to order, if that makes sense. So I don't know what you were going to say. I just wanted to throw that.
yeah, I was going to say in children that there are many disorders that look the same. Trauma in children looks like ADHD in children, looks like anxiety in children. So really just focusing on like what are all the factors? How is the child acting in all of the environments? The blood work is definitely helpful because it lets the parent know if there is a chemical imbalance or if it is something else. And it's really working with that child, and even as that child become an adult, because there are adults who, who suffer from that as well. Just making sure that it is exactly what it is. And taking the medication, it's not long term. Once you're able to take that and you're able to learn how to manage your symptoms, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
What is moody disorder?
Which disorder?
Moody.
MOOD? I'm not sure. That one, that's beyond me.
I want you to look that up.
Was it MOOD? Why is that a medical disorder?
It's in your field.
Oh, maybe, maybe not.
I'm telling you, it's in your field. I was asked this.
Okay,
Yeah.
spell that for me. MOODY.
Hmm.
I'm about to ask Dr. Google right now. You mean mood disorder?
It can be moody, depends.
Mood. Okay, mood disorder is everything that we just all of the disorders that we just spoke about. Those conditions that just has an effect on your emotional state. Mood disorders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna do a few more questions. We're gonna it's about to be a little. It's about to be a little. Take a
Oh
little
yeah.
turn. Little turn.
Okay.
So now with children,
Okay.
how what's the best way to take a child to therapy?
Well, locating a therapist in your area that works with children. Um, Also, if you're going to use insurance, a therapist that is accepting insurance that your child has that works with children. One, that's one of the best ways. Also, look at reviews. Also, as colleagues, ask other therapists. There are many people who come to me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a therapist," and I send them at least like 3 to 4 referrals so that they can hopefully find one. There is a directory called Psychology Today. You can pull that up on your phones and you can type in the type of therapist you're looking for, the insurance the therapist takes, whether you want the therapist to be male or female, the language, ethnicity. It has that on the Psychology Today website, and you can punch it in and look at, see what populates. You can also ask the pediatrician if they have any referrals, also asking the guidance counselor at the school. And sometimes there are therapists that do come to the school that your child is able to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about therapy,
Hmm.
fields, and mental health. So I want you to explain the difference between you and a psychiatric, like a person that does
Yes. Okay. So
psychiatric.
a psychiatrist. Yes. A psychiatrist, that is a medical doctor who also study mental health, the study of the mind. So a psychiatrist, they are able to complete assessments to hone in on the specific mental health diagnosis that you have and are able to prescribe you medications. They're able to let you know how long you may need to take the medication. They're also able to tell you what you can do to not take the medication. But they are medical doctors that are able to prescribe medication. Myself, counselor, whether you say counselor or psychotherapist, we are not medical doctors. There are individuals who have their PhD, but not medical doctors such as to prescribe medication. In Florida, I'll say in Florida, I am able to complete an assessment with you. I am able to take all of your symptoms that you're coming to see me for, and I am able to present you with a diagnosis of what I believe it is, and we develop a treatment plan and we work from there. That is the difference. I cannot prescribe you medication. If I believe you need medication, I will say I think you need to go see a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna throw a little. I'm gonna throw a little wrench in this.
You like wrenches?
I do.
Yeah,
Who would you say is smarter?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Wouldn't say anyone is smarter.
Give me an answer.
Oh, the therapist.
Why?
Um, because we are. That's who I am. I'm gonna say me. I can't speak for the psychiatrist.
Give me an example on how a therapist would be smarter than a psychiatrist.
Oh, we are working more with our clients. We see our clients more on a consistent basis. We are really helping with crisis intervention and prevention with our clients more. We're working with them on their treatment planning and we're seeing results. I would say a lot more than maybe a psychiatrist would. If our client, hopefully, if you are on medication, hopefully you are seeing a therapist at the same time as well to manage the other symptoms. Because again, you don't have to be in therapy forever and you don't have to be on medication forever either.
Hmm.
So that's my answer.
Hmm. Hmm. Ah, that's. Hmm. I don't know. Who's more
You
expensive?
got a different answer, Mr. Pineapple?
Do I have a different answer?
Yeah.
Um. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. I would. I. It really depends on the scenario.
Hmm.
Um. Hmm.
The therapist, y'all. Just a therapist.
I would say I was. Mm,
It's a therapist, y'all.
it
You
can
know.
go either way, but I would say the therapist in the forefront because the consistency is there.
Hmm.
You probably can do it deep. They'll the difference is one of the psychiatrist does more of a deeper dive. Um,
You do.
in most instances, they're able to identify things faster than you,
Hmm.
but they're over time. But you don't see a psychiatrist over time unless it's really the trauma is very severe. So
That
it's
psychiatrists normally, in the beginning, you may see them once a month to see how the medication is affecting your body, and they are supposed to do blood work just to make sure if there is a chemical imbalance that it meets. Okay, because some individuals go and the chemicals are just out of whack. So if you are seeing a psychiatrist and you are taking medication, they are supposed to do blood work just to make sure that the chemicals are balanced in your body. And after seeing a psychiatrist like once a month for a few months, they are seeing like maybe every 3 months. Hi, how you doing? Good. How's the medication working? Is it not working? Titrate it up or down, and that's it.
okay.
That's about 15 minutes or so. Maybe can be stretched to 30, maybe, to see the psychiatrist.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. What's your perspective on those therapists going viral talking trash
Oh
about?
yeah, we don't like that. So we in our therapy community, we don't like that. We have our therapy support groups online. I'm in many therapy groups, and if we have an issue, we're able to say, "Hey, everybody, I think I might want to pivot from working with this population to the next." Or I'm virtual, I want to go in person, or I'm in person, I want to just anything. And we are able to go ahead and offer support. When we see that and we're just like, "Oh man, did you see that therapist?" "I did." "Are they in this group?" "No," because they would have asked us first, or we could have helped them with whatever issue they are going on. Because there's such a stigma to see therapists anyway in our culture, I don't like it at all because the trust is broken. That trust is broken. And not only is that trust broken, but you'll lose your license. People will report you. You well, we carry malpractice insurance. Someone can sue you for going, viral in public like that. We have a public image to uphold. That's just what that is. If you want to talk about your brand and who you service, if it is not in a positive light, I wouldn't advise to go viral. I wouldn't advise anybody to go viral to talk about anything negative. However, it's social media 101.
So I'm gonna give you my intake about it,
Mm-hmm.
coming from a male's perspective. So when you see this was about a year ago, 2 years ago, if I'm
Yeah,
not,
last year, that young lady. Yep, last year.
it was two of them that went live. It
Mhm.
was two black women.
Yeah,
It was one that was homeless and don't wash up, and there was
I
another
don't
one.
think I've seen that one.
Oh, you know her. You know when you see her. The one that kept on going on TikTok making videos. They
Oh,
talk.
yeah, yes.
Excuse
That,
me.
that
And then,
remember.
then the other one that went viral, talking about she don't see uh, male clients, and she had this long list of talking about all these issues. Okay, so
Hmm.
for the first chick, the one that lost her job and acting a fool. See, from a man's perspective, this is how I'm like, we deal with that on a relationship basis
Oh,
from women. We deal with that from our aunties, sisters, friends, possibly females. Our mamas treat us like that. And to go to a therapy office and it's the same hyena behavior, it's like,
yeah.
where's the, I'm going to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Where is the safe place for men to have their conversations?
Especially like that. I am part of what's called Black Men Heal. 'Cause black men come to therapy all the time. There are sometimes where black men do come to therapy, they are looking for what you call that hyena behavior. And I had to just point blank tell them, I don't yell at my clients. Like there's so many clients that come in and say, "Are you gonna yell at me?" I don't yell. I don't yell in real life. Y'all know that. If you know me, you don't see me yelling in real life. I'm not gonna yell at my client.
So let me
And
tell
it,
you,
that yeah, because they were really seriously looking for that and believing that I wasn't listening to them or not holding them accountable. But I had to point out everything they said and all the changes they made. You don't have to. I don't have to yell at you in order for you to want to change your life. You sought me out.
let me tell you something. So
Mhm.
this is why, this is the image, this is the bad image of our sisters collectively. That's bad imagery. The expectation for you to be mean,
Correct.
not pleasant, uninviting, unruly, rebellious, combative. And they do it, women do it in the professional world all the time. Just because a woman isn't yelling doesn't mean that she's not none of those things. Okay? So therapists, they've been doing that. I've experienced this with different profession women in professions. I'm like, hold on, you tripping? Talking to me like that? Like we ain't doing none of that. You got a line out of control, especially in these type of practices where
Absolutely.
person is trying to get healing and you're the ops just because you agreeing. You're supposed to be neutral, unbiased, no opinion, because it has nothing to do with you. This person don't know you. This person don't know you. See, the difference is, unfortunately, a lot of our sisters, they got that bad mentality to where they'll go gossip about their clients in the street. Their business to go out there. It may not be no names attached to it, but you know women are doing this. Men don't do that as therapists. I know they don't do that because you can't really find the men doing that. It's hard to find black men therapists, period. So we know it ain't them doing this. So we're coming to see you to try to get our mind right and get the healing. Because guess what? You got the black man that comes and heals himself, gets the therapy, repairs his community, repairs his family. That's a strong community right there. But you can't get no break in this room and with this woman, and she's talking crazy and not doing what she's supposed to do. I'm like, it keeps the community in chaos. So to go back with the second chick talking about she
Mhm.
don't see male clients, and the legendary Crimson Cure did a live about this. She did a whole
Mhm.
hour live about this, talking about that. And we already knew who she was talking about. She didn't have to no she didn't have to put the race on it. We already knew who she
Mhm.
was talking about. She was talking about us.
And that's sad. That's embarrassing as a therapist.
I know it is
That's
because
embarrassing because it's like, what do you like? Why you didn't have to go out and say that? You could have spoke to your therapist about that, and your therapist could have gave you direction on how to handle. That's why therapists. Hopefully, your therapist has a therapist also, and you have a community that you're able to speak with privately about situation and direction.
no, she is black women are impulsive. That's why black women don't think before they do things. They just do them. Not
I'm
trying
glad
and not
none
trying
of
to
my therapists
just
call
not
each other.
funny and trying to be say that is there a problem with black women? No, I'm gonna call the behaviors out. I'm gonna call them out. This is what I'm a type of guy. I'm just real with community issues. See, I talk about the good things about the community. I talk about the problems. I also talk about issues like this and doing a deep dive when it comes to this. Our sisters are very impulsive. They don't think about how that's going to affect other people. You don't care about your own appearance value because this is the expectation of black people, of black women specifically in these type of situations. Because your appearance, the
Mhm.
world sees you like this, not just your men. The world sees you what you're doing. Okay, they see what you're doing. People, we're trying to tell you don't do that, and you're doing it anyway because you trying to prove a point that you trying to
Mhm.
uh, be supreme and you think you know it all. You're so educated. Behind those degrees, you ain't nothing. Behind these psychology, you ain't nothing because you haven't even healed from your own. A lot of these women haven't healed from themselves, and they're trying to heal people. And look at what they're doing, and then you wonder why men don't open up. You ask why men don't open up. That's why. We got too many examples over the years, for decades, on why men don't open up. Because the moment he opened up and be vulnerable, 85% of the time that woman will betray his trust. You
Mhm. Yeah, I've
dishonor,
heard that. I've heard
just
that.
you
I've heard that.
dishonor his trust, and then when he don't say nothing, that's why a lot of men do. We just removed ourselves from that because how I know she was talking about black men, because white men ain't going to sisters for no therapy. Hispanic men ain't coming to see. Who are your clients? Your clients don't are not interracial. Your clients are not different races. They're not. Not majority of them.
Majority, yeah, majority of Black individuals seek out Black therapists on
Who are you seeing? You
majority.
well, how you gonna see a Spanish or Indian or a white dude? You can't relate. So we know who you're talking about. So when you did that, you not only did you make a fool of yourself, She made a fool of you. She made a fool of all the other therapists that's doing the right thing like you. Being quiet ain't an option.
No.
We can't be quiet about it. The women that's in the field don't need to have no tolerance on that. That should have been banned from the group. Post should have been taken down. She should have been kicked out of the group. She should have. She should
She
have
put
lost
that
her.
on TikTok. She didn't even go to the group. She was on TikTok. Remember? It was sorry. It was out there.
I'm not
Ain't
talking about.
come
I'm
to.
not talking about the first chick. I ain't talking about her.
Yeah,
She already got her consequences. We not talking about that first.
that didn't come to no groups either. That went to social media first.
I know. What I'm saying is that first
Mm.
chick. We not talking about her. We talking about the second chick. She
Yeah,
should
that
have.
went to social media too. That wasn't in the group.
She should have went. She should have went.
But
She should have. That should have went to her supervisor, her boss. She should have lost
correct,
her job too.
correct. Yeah, correct. Because
She probably didn't lose her
you
job.
have your license, your professional license on. If I am outside acting a fool, anyone can call the Florida Department of Health 491 board and report me. I can lose my license. Like everything that I worked for can be lost. If I am out here, let's say I become an addict and I'm out here trying to practice, get caught. I am on a program for fight. Like there are consequences. There are consequences for these things. Like you really need to act accordingly and behave well. And again, see your therapist. See your therapist or people that can hold you accountable if you allow people to hold you accountable for certain problems and issues that you have going on instead of just immediately taking it to social media. That's bad. That's bad. And it did make us look bad. And so now I have an understanding of why when I have some clients tell me like it's okay for you to be hard on me. What? You're not even my child. Like I just even I don't that's not even my life right now. Let's reevaluate. Okay, let's talk about this trauma that you have that you want to take everywhere that you don't even have to stay living in that situation.
That says that's a statement.
Mhm.
That means what that is. That means our community is so desensitized towards that.
Yeah.
It's so desensitized towards that to where that become taboo. The expectations are false, and it shouldn't be like that.
Nope, it shouldn't.
But that's the thing. When men, it could be anybody. Specifically, we're gonna talk about the men's mental health because we don't talk about that enough. Okay,
No, we don't.
man. When a man is in the world, he gotta battle the world, battle this, buy this. He got to worry about it. If he walk out the door, he gonna come back home. Then he got a relationship
Yeah.
with a woman. She tripping. I gotta come home and fight you. Then I come to get therapy. Then I gotta come and fight my therapist too.
Yeah. You gotta have a safe space somewhere.
So where's the? My thing is, you as a woman are supposed to be a soft landing for a man, because that's your part. If you're in a relationship, let's just say you're in any type of
Mhm.
relationship,
Mhm.
the the psychological work, the emotional work, the mental work, all that is your responsibility in a relationship. The bulk of that is your responsibility because the bulk of the man's responsibility is spiritual, the physical, the discipline, all that's him. Your job is the mental stuff is the women. That's you all day. That's your job. Same thing if a client come in here, he can't work on himself. He comes see you, so you work on it. That's what you're doing. That's why more women are in therapy because you're in a space to where you're giving a feminine perspective on things. It's a different
Mhm.
point of view, which is good. You need two different points of view from a woman's perspective and a man's perspective. It may be some differences between when a woman sees things, she might see more details and do a deeper dive than you, which is supposed to balance out a relationship or when you get mental health help, that's what you're supposed to be there for. But a lot of people are doing it for the money or doing it for clout or they taking what they see in the books too seriously. They'll take Sigmund
Mhm.
Freud's uh, point of view out of context. They'll take the therapy books out of context. They'll take things out of context and use it against people instead of use it to help the people. The knowledge that you using is supposed to be for the empowerment and the betterment of that person's brain,
Correct.
so they can heal from the traumas and let it go. This weight is dead weight. When a person has got a lot of shit on their mind, a lot of shit on their mind, it's dead weight, and they gotta let it go. They gotta where they gonna let it go at. That's why when you see men can't express their emotions, they let it out in the world. You be seeing, wondering why they be angry. They beat on people, beating people up, beat on their wives because they don't have no outlets. You see crime in the street, they don't have no outlets to talk. Because our women raise men to not be in their emotions, cry it up, suck it up. You make your boys soft and your women, your girls hard. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Nope.
Okay, that's what that's really real. All that conditioning messes up our communities from our
Yes.
childhood.
Yes.
Okay,
We see
and
that.
what happens when refer back to Attorney Rubin's line. Fathers, we talk
Mm-hmm.
about fathers are
Mm-hmm.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Fathers
Very
are
much so.
important. They the foundation. Abba, foundation of the house, foundation of what you're doing. Okay, and you don't have no foundation under you ain't gonna be able to do anything. Okay, so
Absolutely.
especially working on the spiritual, mental health, all that. Your appearance value is number one. Your spiritual values, it trickles down to everything else. That has to be good. But understanding when somebody come reach out for help, when somebody want to talk, you're supposed to have open ears, open mind, unbiased, clear. Your personal problems as a therapist, you gotta leave them at the door. You gotta help these people because you got two ears and
Absolutely.
one mouth for a reason, so you can listen to people. Especially most people don't have that art and gift of listening. They hear
Mm-mm.
you, but they're not listening. Because if you ask most people to repeat what I just said, they can't. They read it. They hear every other word. Selective listening is what they call it.
Yeah. Yes, and that's true what you stated. There are many men that come into therapy that are ashamed to cry or say, I feel like I'm a girl because I'm just expressing myself, and it's not that you're a girl, it's that you were told and taught and raised to not share. I don't understand what society want men to do. If you are teaching them not to express yourself, but you're expecting them to be married and be parents, they have to talk to their partner. They have to talk to their children. So I am glad the numerous men that are going to therapy and that are learning, that are able to share their feelings and share their thoughts and emotions and get the help they need.
But as far as at first as admitting that you have a problem,
That it, that's it. And that is one of the reasons I'm doing my healing the generation or healing the family seminars this year. We just did our father and son one that was back in June. So we have another one coming up in September, and that's cultivating the father and daughter relationship. Um, because that relationship between that father and daughter is very, very important for the daughter and for the father. And there are many individuals on both sides who don't know how to navigate that relationship at all. So we want to bring those individuals together to learn how to navigate it, how to start it, how to keep it healthy. And if you don't have a relationship with the other individual, how can you move forward in your life? So we're gonna do that one September 21st. That's gonna be in Tampa. We're excited about that, and it's important.
yeah, that'll be
That's important.
yeah. So that'll be good. That'd be a good event for people to attend. But
Yes, and I'll put the details in the chat.
the thing is that it's gonna be funny because a lot of people gonna see it and they were like, man, because people don't understand getting help is work. Repairing it's just like if you homeless or anything, like your personal life. It's hard repairing your life. it's hard repairing stuff because you actually got to put
Hmm.
in the work. But because you
Yeah.
got to every area, you got to figure out what's wrong. Same thing with mental health. It's just really no statute of limitation when therapy stops. Okay, it's just ongoing and working on your mind and working on your mind. There's really no time limit because a lot of people don't do it because they looking at I want to do this in 2-3 months. No, that's just not how it works. You're going because what it does over time, it forces you to think. It forces you to examine yourself,
Hmm.
constantly examining yourself. And a lot of people, when they are being examined, and when the therapists are holding mirrors up to them,
Hmm.
they'll stop coming. They'll stop the therapy. They'll stop the session. But the thing is, that's where your breakthrough is. Most people don't realize that's what their breakthrough is. Having those conversations, having those tough conversations, and really looking at yourself,
Absolutely.
taking some time to really sit still and figure out what the problem is. Get tearing off and purging off all that nonsense that's in your life. It's the same thing with your seminar coming up, the
Hmm.
father daughter, correct? Father
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
See, the the issue is, I'm gonna drop some stats. I'm gonna continue to drop stats. You
Hmm.
can look these up on your own. So you go to the CDC, talking about black parents, black fatherhood. You go to black demographics. You go to the fatherhood component. So 67% of black fathers are always involved in their children's lives. They're always there. Most black men are there for their kids. It'd probably be
Hmm.
higher if there wasn't like custody issues. It wasn't women keeping children away. There's only a small percentage of men in our community that are deadbeats, or there's some of them that's in prison, or some of them are deceased.
That's
So
true.
almost 7 out of 10 women, men take care of their children because they choose. They're
Absolutely.
there, and a lot of women have this narrative that men don't take care of their kids. They don't do this. They did that. But then all the news. It was this survey by other groups of women. This was surveyed by other fellow black women about black
Hmm.
men. The most involved fathers on the planet, the best dads on the planet, but you remove them out of the household. So you doing things by not keeping your kids away, whether it's a son or a daughter, you keeping your fathers away. All you're doing is setting them up for failures to make you look bad, and then you want to call them when the kids are making you feel some type of way, or you can't handle the stress no more. You want them to come with the authority
Correct.
after
Hmm.
after the bond. You broke the relationship, you severed the relationship. Now you want an outcome. Now you asking the community for that and stuff like that. That's just not how that works. So my thing is, the father daughter thing would be a great thing because
Hmm.
a lot of people don't understand this concept. I'm gonna say it twice. The first experience of the a man's first love is his mother.
Okay.
A first a man's the way a woman looks at a man is her first man she trusts is her father.
Hmm.
So how do we hold? I'm gonna say it again before I go to the next point. A man's first love is his mother. Same thing with her father. First man that she trusts is her father. So now, how do we hold that man accountable when he was removed and never was there? So who's teaching her that? That ain't the men teaching you this. We're not teaching women to be hoes, single mothers, sluts, 304s, dancing on poles, be feminists. Men don't. We don't teach that. We pass down traditions. We give you traditions and instructions. Women pass down culture. We haven't passed you that culture. Where are you getting it from? It ain't coming from the men. Men don't teach that kind of stuff. We wouldn't want that for our daughters. There are men that do messed up stuff, but
Hmm.
collectively, that it's
Hmm.
like that color purple narrative. That's just not the collective of black men. They ain't saying that men ain't did that, but it's trauma bonding. There's a lot of trauma bonding in that community. So understanding when you remove the men out of your community, and when you don't have those bonds with the men in the community, you set the child up for failure, especially your sons, because those are your next husbands. Those are your builders. Those are your next doctors, lawyers. Those are your next everything. So if you, in our community, if you don't like the quality of men in your community, but you got to look at your fellow sister who raised them. 80% of our children are born to a single mother household. So if you're talking about the men are bad, this, which most black men are not. If they are, let's say they are, who raised them? Who forced you to raise them? Nobody.
That's that accountability question.
They don't. Nobody's forcing you to do that. Nobody's forced you to do that. So I had this conversation. They don't like it, and I don't care. They don't like it. From Pineapple himself. Who carries the child for 9 months? The woman. So there's 33 forms of birth control, contraceptives, condom. The number one is abstinence. Okay? You have all those options, but yet you still carrying a child is a choice. That's a conscious decision. The definition of a decision is to cut off all possibilities. So you did that, and most men communicate, say, listen, this is not what we doing. We ain't doing this. We don't know each other. This ain't gonna work. Most women try to do it to prove a point. It's my body, your choice. That man's wallet, his choice. Not saying it's right. His wallet, his choice. But you get all the consequences. You get all the responsibilities. All of that. That's why them TikToks have been going crazy. Women, whole bunch of women going viral talking about they tired of being single. That's what you signed. That's the devil's contract that you signed. Every time you say I don't need no man, you marry the government, sign away. You sign the devil's contract with blood. You signed it. Now you want the men to come repair that. You want the fathers to come, the biological fathers to come repair that. And then you want to bring that out into the dating market. And you want men they ain't make those decisions to take care of kids. You want responsible men because you was irresponsible to marry you and take care of children. But what does he get? You never say what he get from it. You never can tell you. But what was you trying to prove? And the real definition of a single mother is a woman that was previously married because her spouse died. Spouse, Mr. Johnson, died. She was married to Mr. Johnson for 40 years. Or they divorced when the kids old. That's a single mom. Single mom ain't women just having children out of wedlock just by anybody.
Or I wouldn't consider a single parent someone who co-parents because you have the assistants.
You're one woman with a child. That's what it means. Now, if the child, for example, if the child starts, so if the child doesn't have a parent, whose fault is that? That's your fault. So that's 75-25. 25% of that is his fault. 75% is your fault because you carried a child for 9 months. 275 days to be exact. That's almost a year. You have to stay like that for a year. So if your child don't got diapers, wipes, shelter, money, food, all that, by default, you start off as a bad parent. Because you didn't bring your child into an ideal situation. You brought your child into a chaotic, unsafe situation. You brought your child into that chaos. You decided this. Takes two to tango, yes. Because be honest with you, Denise, we've been talking about men for 40 years, 50 years. We've been talking about the accountability of men. I said, wait a minute, what about you? Hold on. Shiraz Ali had asked black women, and was a therapeutic question. They can answer. They still. I haven't met a black woman to answer this question yet. What percentage of the community mess up belongs to black women? She asked this question 30 plus years ago.
Hmm.
No black woman has ever answered that question yet. Even us women that's so-called conscious or so-called Christian, they can't answer it. They always shift all the blame back on the men. But yet you're signing up to do this. You're signing this devil's contract every day. You're having 2 and 3 kids out of wedlock on a daily basis. How do you do that? That's mental. And I'm reason why I'm elaborating on this topic more, because a lot of our sisters are so traumatized and they won't go get help. They need therapy from this, because this is not normal. This is
And it
not
could be
normal. It's not
generational.
healthy. It's generational. I don't believe stuff like this can be generational. It's just bad choices. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. We're in the information and technology age to where women should not be making these type of decisions. Because you got women that's in other countries that are in far worse situations. We talking about the black community that's in far worse situations than us. They're still feminine. They don't have children out of wedlock. They're not having abortions all over the place. Our community is stagnant. So there's 40 million between 40 and 47 million black people in America. Why is that? That's not a high number. That's 13 to 17% of the
A very
population.
low percentage.
Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Our population is still the same, because one, Planned Parenthood. Black women are deleting babies just as much as they have them. So the population is not growing. Because if you're at the abortion clinic because you're out there hoeing around, sleeping around, you having hot girl summers and stuff like that, a lot of people don't understand the detriment. You killing babies every day. This is affecting you. This is affecting generations.
It does.
And my question, when do you seek help? When do you get mental health for this? And you got
When you
all these
realize
resources and
when you
take.
realize it's a problem.
See, the thing is, they don't think
Like
it's a
you got
problem because because the government told you to do that. Okay? So now, when you realize that you were wrong, then you want the men to come save you. And that's just, men just don't operate like that. We just don't do that. We really feel bad for our kids. And our kids be having mental health issues. That's why I'm not saying this is right or wrong. Men use this at their discretion. You see a lot of times in our community where men will go start another family somewhere else. They'll eventually, some men stop fighting for their kids, or they have a daughter or a son that they just don't take care of because of the situation between the mom, because the mom make it so difficult. They make it fight. So, and a lot of times the men got to spend all the money to get basic visitation. And the crazy thing is, a lot of men be like, you know what? I just wash my hands. We'll just have a conversation later. We gon' and we'll just revisit it. And a lot of times, men in their hearts, especially black men, don't ever want to move on for their kids. But she made that so toxic to where she had to move. He had to move on to live his life. Because my life can't stop because I have a child with this woman, because she want to make my life hell. I got to go on and do what I have to do. Most men don't want to do that, but men do it. Some men just don't have the mental capacity to do that. It's too much, because they calculate the cost. Is this cost worth it? They're like, no. I'm not saying they should fight. I'm not saying they should. I always tell them, always take care of your kids. But I don't see me as an advocate for fathers. Somebody who talks to me about custody and all that stuff, I can't really tell them what's right or wrong, because I understand, because I've been on both sides of that spectrum. I can't really tell you what to say or not to say, or what to do. You use that on your discretion, and you do what's best for your situation. But you shouldn't be put into a position where you doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't even be having to do that. But a lot of times we got all the smoke from men. But how often from back in the day do we get men's side of the story? We just get what mama told us. We don't never go seek our daddy on his side of the story. That's why lately in the last 2 3 years, a whole bunch of paternity tests been taken. Paternity tests been taken. Paternity tests been taken. Mama been lying.
Seen that. My, listen, my sister have a mobile DNA business if you need to know.
You put that in the chat.
I'll put that in the chat. She
They get
does. She
result.
does.
They get
She does.
results is it the same day.
3 days.
We
Three,
here to
three,
break family. We here to break
3 days.
generational lies.
But it's it's a lot. And so when people do come into the therapy office, like everything that's happening on the earth, even on social media, we discuss that in the therapy office because one, people believe it or they're traumatized from it, and just because somebody says something, they took it and ran with it. So we really have to mitigate and bring individuals back to reality.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's why that was my piece on that.
Hmm.
All of that ties into therapy and
Understood. Yeah.
healing. And I just want people to understand therapy is important, especially for
Oh.
men.
Hmm.
Because we got a lot of weight, we got a lot of pressure on our shoulders, we got a lot to do. So we definitely got to take care of our physical health, our spiritual health, and our mental health. Okay, and
Please,
psychological. We want to take care of all your health, and we want to get to
please
that.
do. And it's okay to see a therapist. It's okay to
It's
see a
nothing wrong
therapist.
with
We like Jesus too, we out here serving the Lord as well,
it. Yeah.
because a long time even in our culture it was a prayer away.
So
Now
let
we
me so let me
no.
ask you a comical question before we
Uh-huh.
close out. So what if a client was just going through some stuff, just had a
Yeah.
lot on their mind? What if they just came in there, look, they came in their therapy session and they just put out a bottle of like Hennessy or something, started drinking in there? Would you accept that? Is that okay? Or what would
Nah, nah, I don't,
let's
because I don't know. Nope, no, no. One, I don't know how you are when you drink. I may
yeah,
have to call the people on you. You might want to throw hands. I don't do that. Stuff might happen.
yeah,
So respectfully, just say, hey, just call me. But like, Denise, today I can't deal with it. But like, okay, what's going on? We can talk over the phone. At that point, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm at my house. I'll call your friend, call somebody over, but don't come to my office drinking or smoking, y'all. Please, respectfully.
but I don't know. These people that make it seem like, boy, it make you bad, nerves bad. I just want
Exactly.
I just wanted to throw a little bit of the comical in there too,
But I
because
mean, hey, some people might. There are so many people who will come in. They expect the couch. The couch is expected to be in the office. Like, you need a couch. I'm like, that's tea. Like, so again, so some people will take what's in social media and or TV and will bring it in and just expect that. So if you're gonna see a therapist, really, really find out why you want to see a therapist. Research a therapist that you would like to see. Interview your therapist before you make an appointment. I interview my clients to make sure I can assist them. If not, I refer them. Please interview your therapist. Ask any questions you need to ask your therapist.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, because we are in your life trying to help you. You want to make sure it's the right person. And if we ain't working, let me know and I can refer you to some other people. And that's fine. Like you're not in trouble. No one gets in trouble.
Yeah, so
No one
yeah,
gets in
you want
trouble.
also you just want to identify when people say they in therapy. You can
Hmm.
see if they truly are doing the work because you can. What you'll notice is their posture, their demeanor, their energy, the way they talk. They just light up because
Yeah.
they're getting a breakthrough. But you won't get to the PC. People just want the breakthrough and the outcome, but they don't. It takes work. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of work for you to do what you got to do.
Yes, it does. I'm not gonna work harder than you.
It is.
I'm just not. Oh, before we close, okay, okay. So if you have not been diagnosed, as being narcissistic. You're not. If a therapist have not told you, or a psychologist have not told you, or a psychiatrist have not told you, or a neurologist have not told you, is that everybody? I think that's everybody. If they have not told you that you have narcissistic personality disorder, you're not. So don't call a therapist. My girlfriend said that I'm a narcissist. I gotta come in, baby. Bless your heart.
Yeah,
Because there are people who truly believe that that is a real disorder,
it
and
really
you
is.
truly really have to be diagnosed with that. Everything is real. Like there are people, there are songs. I'm so bipolar. Don't say that because people who truly are, they don't even want it. Like there are a lot of disorders that's really real out here.
All right.
Okay, so really just really go get the help and be a therapist. If you need a referral for a therapist, call me, let me know. I don't mind helping people. I don't mind helping you find whoever you're looking for. And if they don't work, come back, let me know so I can give you some more people.
All right.
So we do.
Cool.
Thank
So
you, everybody.
So that conclude our live. This is an extra bonus. I owed her a live. We was having technical difficulties last time. Is
Right. You've been booked and busy.
Yeah, so I've been booked.
Yeah.
I got booked all the way. I'm almost booked for the rest of the year. So I just got a lot of stuff coming on. Got some phenomenal guests coming on next week. I got a lot of stuff. I got more people to add to the calendar. So you're gonna be in for a treat because you don't know which angle I'm coming from, and this
Nope.
is what keeps this podcast up and going. Before you go, let them know how to find you and all of that.
Yeah,
We gonna bid everybody a
I will
good
put
night because it's getting late.
absolutely. So I put my Facebook page there. I will put my email address and website in there so you can find me. I'm also on Instagram as well. But my website is gettherapy.org, gettherapy.org, and contact me, message me on Facebook, Instagram. So many people, message me from social media. That's fine. I'm able to just reach back out to them and answer all the questions that they need answered. So if you need my assistance, please let me know.
All right. Sounds good, everybody. That will
Thank
conclude
you.
Thursday night,
It's
Friday,
Friday. Today's Friday.
Friday night with Pineapple. We out. We'll see you next week. We're going to have a great guest. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Royal Blossom Company on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram. Also, YouTube page, Royal Blossom 2018. Growing a YouTube page. It's going to be a lot of fashion stuff being up there posted. Also, the vision and purpose of this brand to restore, build, and create. And our brand values is to be fun, spirited, and passionate. FSP. So we'll talk to you soon. Till next week, 7:30.
Thank you.
We out.